Yo, what is up, guys? Vincenzo from home of Milan coming back at you once again. Furthermore, today we got the nice little win versus Frosinone to cover. But before we get into it, make sure you guys are following us on all of our socials at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Bunches, all at home of Milan. So without any further ado, guys, let's jump into this. Out the gate, Milan were destined to score a goal, creating tons of half chances, but we finally took the lead and broke the deadlock with a great ball from Leao, who put it on the head of Giroud, who does well to put it near post and give us the lead 1-0. And I want to say, I feel like Leao played a very good match today, kind of being involved and kind of doing his best to create chances. And today he got a great assist. I think, this is some good things to follow from Leao. But with Giroud, he is absolutely timeless. That brings Giroud's total to 19 goal contributions this season in 20 matches. That is 11 goals and 8 assists in Serie A, which is absolutely remarkable for 37-year-old Giroud. So he's been on some great form. He's been very pivotal for us this season, not only creating goals but scoring goals, and he's most definitely going to hit double digits goals and assists this season. He only needs 2 more assists to complete that. So I want to give a massive shout out to Giroud, tip my hat to him as well. However, nothing much happened in the remaining of the half. Very boring, not encouraging at all going forward. And we seemed defeated and sluggish, and even going into the second half, it seemed like that. By looking dead, we were punished in the 64th minute, and Frosinone take the lead through a handball in the box by Leao. Me personally, it was a very close call because it looked like it was on the line, and obviously, with the goal technology rule, the whole ball has to be over the line. And I'm just not sure if the whole ball was over the line for this to count as like inside the box, if you know what I mean. But regardless, Frosinone scored the equalizer in the 64th minute. Now, I want to talk about Mike Maignan for a second because, in my opinion, I feel like he's just been so underwhelming this season. He hasn't saved a penalty this season, which we faced multiple of. I just feel like he's letting so many easy goals prevent the game from being a lot harder than it is. However, I am giving Mike the benefit of the doubt just because we don't have our starting center backs in front of him to kind of help him out a little bit. So I feel like in that regard, Mike Maignan, can get a little weight off his shoulders. But, I think in these next couple games, I feel like he does need to step up a little bit, maybe contributing to, a play or just making a very crucial save. But, regardless, I feel like Mike Maignan has been a little bit underwhelming. However, thankfully, in the 71st minute, Adli whips in a nice little ball into the back post, and Giroud does well to head it into the middle, and Gabbia is there to equalize 2-2. I just want to go on a little Gabbia tangent right here because I feel like Gabbia has been easily our best defender since him coming in. I feel like Gabbia has done so well to just mold into this team and kind of really step up and put in some very good performances. In previous episodes, I've, had my praise for Gabbia, but today I feel like he did pretty good today. I feel like he was very pivotal. Obviously, he scored the goal to help us, eventually win the game. And I feel like since coming into January, I feel like he's cemented himself in the team going into next season, going to be a part of that rotation in the back line, especially if we're going to have a coach like Conte, who will soon, we'll get to that later. But yeah, I feel like he'll be a crucial part for our defense next season, being a depth piece as well. So I just wanted to tip my hat to Gabbia for putting in a great performance and just great performances, since coming into the club this January from Villarreal. So, and I feel like just once the substitutes came on, we just looked so much more alive. We also changed formations in game to a 4-4-2, which I think helped us out a lot. So I want to tip my hat to Pioli for making those changes and those proper substitutions for to bring us back into the game. So I feel like that was massive for us. And in the 80th minute, Milan whip in another cross, and it actually bounces off of the back of a Frosinone defender. And guess who's there? Luka Jovic, the substitute, scores the winning goal for us to win 3-2 and take home all 3 points. And I want to give a massive shout out to Luka Jovic because he has been absolutely great in these last couple games, coming in as a substitution, and on his first touch of the game, he scores a goal and he does well to take his chance. And that brings up his goal tally to 5 goals in 15 appearances, which is a goal every 103 minutes. So I just want to give a shout out to Luka Jovic, who's been absolutely great in these last couple games. coming in clutch, scoring these big important goals, whether it's to tie or to win, or just to, be a force right in the box, be a fox in the box. Like I was saying last episode, or I think 2 episodes ago, saying who would you want to start, and I was saying how Jovic was a fox in the box type of player, and this goal I feel like proves it. Right, he does well to kind of mismatch his opponent, and then he does well to put his chance away. So, but I feel like this game, Milan looked so shaky, tired, and helpless, and it looked like we were sleeping in the first hour of the game. But like I said previously, I feel like Pioli made the proper substitutions to get us back into the game. Let's go to tops and flops. For tops, I'm going to say Olivier Giroud. I feel like he took his goal well with a nice little header into the near post. Obviously, his assist, heading it across the face of the goal for Gabia to head it in for the equalizer. And I just feel like Giroud was so involved in today's game, either heading it down, just kind of being a hold-up striker, passing it off. I thought he did very well. So my man of the match is going to be Giroud. And for flops, I think I'm going to go with either one of Loftus-Cheek or Calabria, but I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Calabria because, again, I feel like every time Florenzi comes in, I feel like we just look like such a better side and a more serious side. In Calabria, I feel like, yes, he does have some good contributions here and there, but I feel like overall he is a little inconsistent. So for that reason, I'm going to put Calabria as my flop and Olivier Giroud as my top. So let's preview our next game, which is against Napoli. And obviously, Napoli have had not the greatest season ever. In my opinion, one of the worst Scudetto defending seasons ever of all time. I know they were giving us stick last season, oh, worst title defense, but no, truly, this is the worst title defense from any Scudetto winning side, and clearly so because they're in 7th place. And in Napoli's last 5 games, they have 2 draws, 2 wins, and a loss. Most recently winning up against Hellas Verona. So I feel like this season Napoli are just so inconsistent, and in our last 5 games we have 4 wins and 1 draw. So I feel like we've been absolutely flying these last couple games. I feel like kind of struggling a little bit, suffering a little bit, but regardless, we get the result at the end of the day. So for that reason, we're also at home for this game in the San Siro. So I feel like we are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a little bit more comfortable than what we did last time going in Naples. Obviously, we tied 2-2, obviously blowing a 2-0 lead in that game. But I feel like this game, I feel like we're going to be a lot more confident and a lot more in control in this game. So I feel like for that reason, I feel like we are going to win. So I just wanted to touch upon the coaching rumors that have been circling around, Milan media and everything like that. And sources close to Milan have been saying that Conte is rumored to be our next coach next season. And me personally, I don't hate this move because obviously we know how great Conte sides are in Serie A. Obviously, Juventus have been very successful with Conte. Obviously, Inter have won the league with Conte, and he just played some great football. And even with Chelsea, I feel like Conte got the best out of a lot of players like Hazard, Diego Costa, and a couple others I can't really think of off the top of my head. And obviously with Spurs, he kind of had, a little shaky stint there, but regardless, I feel like Conte can really instill a winning mentality in this team because he's won everywhere he's gone, obviously minus Tottenham. But I feel like he can really instill that winning culture into this Milan team. And obviously, we know Conte sides can play some great football. So I think 2 things are going to happen. I feel like we're going to see a lot of changes to this current team. Obviously, there have been links of Leao leaving because Mbappe is going to go to Real Madrid. So PSG are saying that their replacement is going to be Leao. Obviously, he still has that $175 million release clause. So that would be a lot of money injected into this team to really just rejuvenate and rebuild our entire team with at least 2 to 3 world-class players to add if we do end up selling Leao, which in my opinion, I feel like I hope not, just because I feel like Leao is going to be the face of our club for a lot of years until he does leave. However, on the other side of the coin, I feel like 175 million is very, very hard to turn down. And me personally, I feel like if if we sold Tonali for 80 million, I feel like the Milan management is just drooling over this dream scenario that 175 million can come in for Leao. if PSG do activate his release clause, which, we've seen it before, obviously, with the Neymar transfer. So we'll just have to see come next season. But in my opinion, I feel like Conte would be a great option. But I still have a soft spot towards Thiago Motta. And obviously, I feel like he could bring in some of these, players from Bologna like Xerxes. So I'm a little torn on it, but I wouldn't mind if Conte does become the new coach. I think that'll do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, how Milan played, what the game against Napoli will have to hold, and obviously the transfer saga with Leao and Conte possibly coming to the club. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.